Over the last week, hand to God, I have sifted through thousands and thousands and thousands of posts and news reports trying to divine some possible purpose for what's going on in the Middle East. And for the life of me, I can't do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my touch. Maybe there's folks out there that know more than I do. But when you look at social media, it's a mountain of AI enhanced lies on both sides. And every day the administration comes out and says, well, we've bombed this, bombed that, bombed the other. And the other side says, well, we did this, and that. And neither one seems to have any particular desire for there to be an end. But an end is coming. And it's going to come in a way that I don't think a lot of people are going to have on their bingo cards. A few videos ago, a week or so ago, I said pay attention to the end of Ramadan. March 18th is the end of Ramadan, and that's next week. After that, I think things are going to change drastically around the world. All of the reporting of all of the damage and destruction has largely been from the Middle East. There have been some lone wolf attacks here in the United States and other places. But after Ramadan ends, I think we're going to see something very, very, very different. And I just brought up one of these images. I'm sure you've seen hundreds of them. Trump's reason for war is to stop Iran's nuclear program, but last year, he claimed after sending in the B-2 bombers that Iran's nuclear program was totally obliterated. And we see this again. We have ships under attack after we have been told that their entire navy has been decimated and destroyed, mine layers, all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to waste your time. You can see all this stuff for yourself. But I do have something I think we need to pay attention to that's happening right here in the United States that nobody is seeing. Now, real quick, all of you, before I forget, thank you. Always want to lead off with gratitude. Everyone who has continued to join us, stay with us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. I very, very much appreciate it. Right now, you guys are standing in the breach. You're the reason that there are still Florida Maquis videos of any kind. And going forward here on YouTube, I think we might have to turn the page a little bit because the information is just too much. I'm sure a lot of people are shaking their heads or nodding, saying, yes, it is. It's just overwhelming. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what images are real. But if you'd like to support the Florida Maquis, whatever God puts on your heart, if you have the ability to do it, God bless you. If you don't, no worries. I understand we're in a tough financial place, but the best part about supporting Florida Maquis, the Patreon channel, is that it's fully refundable. First 90 days. No questions asked. Love to have you over there. The links are down in the description. Now, let's just start off with a chart. Home sales in this country just hit their lowest level since the 2008 financial crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. It's here. Nobody seems to be really talking about it, though. You see, there was a specific reason things fell off a cliff in 2008. That a bunch of loans had been given to people who couldn't afford to pay for them, the ninja loans, and they all defaulted. And there were these things called something swaps. I forget what they were. But there was a specific reason things just fell off a cliff. Now, people can't even afford to buy cars. They can't even afford to buy cars. Some months, it's a challenge to buy groceries. Buy a house? Buy a house would have implicit built in it that you're saving money every month for a down payment. Most people are like, oh, man, we made it through that month. We got the car payment paid for, and we had this extra expense, and we got this, but here we are. We got the house payment paid, the rent paid, we got a few extra bucks in the bank, but here comes another month. That's where most people are. They're not saving for a house. And now they're saying that in the upcoming midterms, there's going to be a massive Democrat sweep. What if I told you, and we're going to probably do this over at Patreon, there's a really good chance, and most people would say this is absolutely crazy, would have told me I was nuts 2 years ago, that Florida, the representation in Florida could flip, and the governor's race. If Governor DeSantis doesn't get his wife to run, if Governor DeSantis does not get his wife Casey to run, it is very likely we could see a Democrat governor in the next election. And I think he knows that. Now, also, before I forget, Patriot Nurse, I always want to give a shout out. She's got a brand new video out, just came out yesterday, with some really spectacular advice for dealing with what's coming. It's called The Next 60 Days Are Critical. She talked about all the different things that go through the Straits of Hormuz, nitrogen and food supplies and all this kind of stuff, and why it's driving the cost of everything up. The cost of everything up. I'd like to ask a question. I truly would. People are saying, well, Florida Monkey, oil's going down. The price of gas has gone up every single day for the last 13 days. Regardless of the price of oil. But anyway, real quick. The Patriot Nurse, all one word, just like it sounds, capital T-H-E, capital P-A-T-R-I-O-T, capital N-U-R-S-E. The Patriot Nurse. She's also got a Patreon channel. Great channel to watch on a regular basis. She gives out some of the most fantastic advice. She's got I don't know what you would call it, a shop online where you can get all sorts of different herbs and medicines that will allow you to deal with life in a way that doesn't involve big pharma, which kind of dovetails into something that's going on right now that should stun everybody. How many of you have heard of Ozempic or the GLP-1s, the Mounjaros and the tirzepatide and all this stuff? It is hitting Hollywood like a freight train. I believe, kid you not, look at these two pictures. The guy above, very good looking guy, decided, you know what? I'm not good looking enough. I need to be skinnier and smaller. This is the same guy after taking these drugs. And these people think they look better. Sharon Osbourne, John Goodman, the girl who played Daisy Duke in the new Dukes of Hazzard, can't remember her name. They look like zombies. Katy Perry was already ridiculously skinny. It's just unreal. And the reason I say this is that we had a huge group of people in this country who said, oh, I'm not taking the jab. I'm not taking the, you see, was it when the COVID jab? Oh, that's, we are sure that we're not taking the COVID jab. But when it came to this, when there was an ounce of vanity drawn into it, meaning, well, you could take this medication to fight off COVID, may or may not work, may or may not have these side effects. Oh, I don't trust Big Pharma. I don't trust Big Pharma. You know what the biggest seller at Costco is right now? The biggest seller at Costco, where most conservative Republicans go to shop, the biggest seller is Ozempic. And now here's this very strange article. Why Ozempic users are actually spending more on high-end chocolate. Meaning they're using these injections to treat food like a drug. And ladies out there know what I'm talking about. For a lot of women, it's where who remembers the commercial? You're not you when you're hungry. Try Snickers. Well, most people would, but they eat Snickers on a regular basis. You get fat. Well, now they're buying the super high-end chocolates that are in the grocery store, in that one little aisle kind of across the top that is just an absolutely ridiculous amount of money for a little tiny chunk of chocolate, so that they can get the high from it. It's absolutely unreal. Now, the funny thing about this is that you can look all over Hollywood. People say, oh yeah, Hollywood people are crazy. You can see people that have aged and still look fantastic. I know people say, well, wait, Jennifer Aniston, she's very rich. She has this, and that. I'm not sure what this guy's name is. It's on the tip of my tongue. He hasn't had surgery. He hasn't had a facelift. He hasn't taken Ozempic. He hasn't done any of this stuff. And from 29 for these, I guess, 23 years? Looks pretty much like the same guy. We've talked about Salma Hayek before, but you can kind of see it in her face a little bit, that you can kind of tell the age, but still, absolutely spectacular. Now, I want to give a shout out to a personal friend. You see, this is somebody that I guarantee nobody in my audience knows who they are. This is a girl I went to high school with, and honest to God, she is a vampire. She just does not age. Upper left is her just after high school. Throughout the years, 2007, 10, 14, 17, 2021, she's a dental assistant. So she's not rich. This is her this year. For some people, I think it's just genetics. We've talked about Kim Iverson. This is the political commentator from The Hill. This is her, I think, in her 20s. This is her in her 40s. This is Rob Lowe. So the point, I guess, that I'm making is why are we talking about this? Is that you can do things the right way and you can do things the wrong way and get what on the surface seems like the same results, but they're not really the same results, are they? It's kind of the same thing with war. You see, we went to war in, what was it, 1990? The Twin Towers didn't come down until 2001. We had already invaded Iraq in 1990 to get rid of Saddam Hussein. All the way back in 90. And a reason was given then, and nothing came of it. Nothing good came of it. Because the government now in Iraq is still run by Muslims. There's no such thing as a pro-Western Muslim. The two ways of living don't have nothing in common. You cannot be a Muslim and be an American. Because being American means that you're for a republic, you're for voting, you're for, the way that we see the world, that men and women are equal and we have equal rights, and that Muslims just don't believe this. So are we out there, the reason I bring that up, are we there to exterminate them? Are we there to exterminate Muslims? I think they know this. That's why there's no direction here. And why, honestly, folks, get ready. Wartime survival. This war is here to stay. It's here to stay for a long time because there's just no point. Please, somebody down in the comment, tell me what you would call win. If we're still bombing and we're still launching missiles, that means there's still a mission yet to be completed. I thought we already got rid of their nuclear program, so you can't say that's the goal. You can't possibly say that's the goal. Because we were told last year that we got rid of it. Did we? Did we not? This whole thing, well, Israel's telling us to do this, Israel's telling us to do that. Okay, play devil's advocate. What do the Israelis want? What would be their definition of win in this kind of war? If it's the extermination of Islam, folks, Turkey is a Muslim nation. Pakistan is a Muslim nation. All of the northeast of Africa, billions of people, they're all Muslims. They all believe the same thing. It cannot possibly be the goal. Even the United States, with all of our firepower, could not exterminate Islam. If that's not the case, then I am flummoxed. I'll be honest with you, folks, I am absolutely without an answer on what the stated goal of the events over there are. We cannot keep the Abraham Lincoln and the Gerald R. Ford and all of these destroyers on station indefinitely. People talk about the Iron Dome. The only Iron Dome that would work with Iran would be the Iron Dome that was over Iran, not Israel. You would have to prevent anything from leaving their borders or leaving their atmosphere. That's where the dome should be, not over who you're trying to protect, over who you're trying to defend from. You see, the idea of an Iron Dome over Israel is the same as the idea of taking all of the innocent people in the country and putting them in prison to protect them from the criminals. Let me say that again. The idea of an Iron Dome over the U.S. or Israel or any other country is the same logic as taking innocent people, putting them behind razor wire 12-foot tall fences, inside cement buildings, inside steel jail cells with bars. Yeah, you'd be perfectly safe. Who remembers the Walking Dead? Was it season 2 or 3? Where the entire world was zombies and they decided to lock themselves in a prison for safety? That's what an Iron Dome is. Instead of locking up all the zombies, they decided to lock themselves up. And tell me how. See, I've never heard. Remember the whole Christina Applegate? Oh, I was so sad because they made me be so skinny for Married with Children. I have never heard once Jennifer Aniston, who is by far and away better looking than Christina Applegate ever was, ever once say, oh, these horrible people in Hollywood, they're forcing me to look like blah, 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 blah. She's looked like this for 20-something years. Never heard her complain one time about Hollywood forcing her to do this. Or this guy, Hollywood forcing him to look like that. Never heard this woman say a thing about it. You see, there's a right way of doing things and a wrong way of doing things. So, if you like the right way of doing things as an American, listen to the Patriot Nurse. Believe me, take her advice on this. She hits every possible nail directly on the head about what's coming. So, I will leave it there. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Join us on Patreon. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.